An isolated strong to severe storm is possible, mainly in Illinois Thursday. Fire danger increases west of the metro area during the afternoon. We're breaking down the dramatic changes ahead.
Gateway to national defense, the big Boeing announcement and why it may not bring big jobs to St. Louis. A missing teen found dead in the Mississippi River.
I want justice to be served and I want the answers.
Tonight, her heartbroken family tries to put the pieces of her mysterious disappearance together. Well, we start tonight with your weather impact forecast. Tomorrow we'll go from 70 degrees back to a February reality. This is 5 on your side at 10. I'm Kelly Jackson.
And I'm Mike Bush. Some of you could see some spring-like storms tomorrow. Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell is tracking the timing of the big changes.
Well, you know, I don't think we're going to have to deal with those storms during the morning rush hour around the St. Louis area. Quiet right now out at Lambert. Another on-time arrival coming into the airport right now. 73 was our high today, a degree shy of the record. Our concern for any isolated stronger storms, that brief window, is mainly off to the east of St. Louis here on the Illinois side, especially as you go into Montgomery, Bond, Fayette, Marion, and Clay counties in Illinois. That's where an isolated strong to severe storm looks possible. But again, it's possible, not likely at this point. What you need to do is make sure you're staying up to date tomorrow. Check in with Gary. He'll be here bright and early for Today in St. Louis. You can stream us as well. And remember, that radar is always on 5+. You can tune in anytime. Check it out. We do think as we head between 9 and 11, we're starting to see some showers, maybe a few rumbles of thunder develop. They might have some small hail, but that wouldn't be the main severe risk. It would happen later in the day as the surge of drier air pushes in. And you see, there's not a whole lot happening there on our simulated radar. So the chances are there late morning, early afternoon, and then it pushes east of St. Louis. Winds kick up and the humidity drops off late in the day. So burning outdoors, not a good idea for tomorrow afternoon.
The Weather Impact team will be tracking these storms both on air and on the 5 on your side streaming app. You can download the app for free by scanning the QR code on your screen. And you can also get the latest weather impact forecast anytime on your phone. Just text the word weather to 314-425-5355 and we'll send you a link.
Heartbreak and sadness tonight for a St. Louis family of a teen missing for 2 months. Hours ago, they learned the 18-year-old's body was found this week in the Mississippi River near Festus. Only on 5 on your side tonight, Robert Townsend talks to her grieving parents.
You can see the shock and sadness on the faces of Waniata Gibson's parents.
I call her Baby Bear. She called me Mama Bear. So she was like my little cub.
She was daddy's girl. She was my princess. I called her my princess.
Her family says on the afternoon of December 22nd, the Ring doorbell camera captured Gibson on video, leaving their home in North St. Louis.
She came in the house, we saw her. Saw her for a split second, and she said she was going to the store.
They say Waniata walked to this metro bus station around the corner near Broadway and Riverview.
And she waited there for a while. I'm like, we could have called her. Had we known, you know? So that's what I'm upset about. I would have went after her and got her and brought her back.
Surveillance cameras snapped photos of the 18-year-old Gibson getting on a bus and later getting off near Carr and Broadway downtown. But when she never returned home, her worried family reported her missing.
We got a couple images of her walking down 2nd Street, and that was the last that we got.
2 months later, detectives called the family and told them barge workers found their loved one's body in the Mississippi River near Festus Monday.
When I got the call this morning, I expected her there.
She loved Jesus. She loved going to church.
And Gibson especially loved her family and her 2 dogs and 2 cats.
She came home and told me one time she had him on her shoulder. She loved him. She loved all these babies.
So at this point, Gibson's family still has lots of questions surrounding her death. They're hoping once an autopsy is completed, they'll finally get the answers to what they call a painful mystery.
Only God. That's it. I know that she's with him. And I know that I'll see her again.
Robert Townsend, 5 on your side.
A second teen is now charged in the murder of a rideshare driver in Ferguson. Police say Shannon O'Brien was dropping 3 people off on Windward Court last month when she got caught in the crossfire of a shootout. A 16-year-old was arrested today. Last week, a 17-year-old was arrested and charged in the case.
Right now, St. Louis police are searching for a bronze bust bandit. The Central West End Neighborhood Security Initiative shared this surveillance video of a man on a bicycle stealing the sculpture of author Kate Chopin. Police say the theft happened early Saturday morning at the intersection of Euclid and McPherson, known as Ryder's Corner. If you recognize the man or his bike, you're asked to call St. Louis police. Tonight, the fight for the future of St. Louis public schools is heating up.
Teachers and parents are now demanding a seat at the table just weeks after the state stripped the district of its full accreditation. 5 News Eye's Brent Solomon was there for the community conversation, which just wrapped up. Brent?
Well, frustration tonight meeting renewed purpose. A community conversation centered around years of disinvestment, but also a blueprint to bounce back. These seats inside Vashon High School filled with a sense of urgency Wednesday night.
I've got a daughter who goes to Betty Wheeler.
Jimmy Lappy is a former city alderman who wants to see the district win.
Anytime that there's instability in any kind of institution, it's a problem for all of us. But I think the great thing about a public school system is that there's actually systems of accountability.
That was a major theme at the community conversation that comes more than a month after the Missouri Board of Education downgraded the district's accreditation. While test scores are actually rising, the state cited late financial reports and leadership turnover. But the American Federation of Teachers says the solution isn't state pressure, it's local investment. Instead of closing empty buildings, it wants to see them repurposed.
We have trade programs that we're trying to implement. We have wraparound services, sustainable community schools. If you can't wash your clothes at home, your parents should be able to wash at your school.
For teachers like Michael Holmes, this isn't just about policy. It's about the career he isn't ready to leave.
I'm not changing careers anytime soon. I'm going to be teaching until they put me in the ground. So I got to figure out what the landscape's going to be like. We have solutions to the problems. We deal with them every day. And so we got to come together as a group to figure out how to solve them.
While they all the way in Chesterfield or somewhere else trying to make decisions on what goes on the north side, we're going to tell them from the north side what we need.
And that conversation continues a week from today. That's when parents and students will head to Jefferson City. There's a bus leaving SLPS headquarters at 6 a.m. and there's still room. If you'd like to learn more about that, maybe sign up. Call that number that's on your screen now, 314-781-2077. Kelly.
Thanks, Brent. Well, just hours ago, the U.S. Defense Secretary was in town to make a big announcement. The Boeing Defense, Space, and Security Headquarters will be returning to St. Louis after years in Arlington, Virginia.
5 on your side's Laura Barczewski is in studio to break down what this really means for the region. Laura.
Well, Mike and Kelly, while this is a major announcement, it doesn't mean there will be tons of new jobs. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth says what it does do is further solidify St. Louis's role in national security and help streamline business.
St. Louis, as was announced today, is now the defense capital.
For the last 9 years, Boeing's Defense, Space, and Security Headquarters were in Arlington, Virginia, to be closer to the Pentagon. But for 20 years before that, they were right here in St. Louis. Governor Mike Kehoe says it's time for the department to come home.
This has an emotional tie to me to be here today for the announcement you're about to hear about the future of what's happening, not only for our warfighters, but for the entire defense industry and for our incredible team workforce that stands before me. You guys make St. Louis and our region proud.
The announcement of Boeing Defense's return coincides with U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth's Arsenal of Freedom tour. He says national security depends on the speed and strength of manufacturing, done in part by more than 18,000 Boeing employees in our area.
Ensuring that our warfighters never fight in a fair fight, and they can't do that without you, without what is done here in Building 75, which is essential to the arsenal of freedom.
Boeing says the move will strengthen the business and emphasizes the importance of everyone working side by side producing fighter jets and other defense systems.
And from us to you on your front, as it applies to peace through strength, that means less red tape, more incentives, and more speed on the factory floor.
In addition to defense headquarters, St. Louis is home to the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, Scott Air Force Base, and the Advanced Manufacturing Innovation Center, currently under construction.
President Trump announced a goal of $1.5 trillion for our national security and defense in 2027.
Boeing Defense employees with frequent business in Washington, D.C. and in areas around the Capitol will still be based in Arlington, Virginia.
in the metro. Tonight, the growing concern of health officials after a second confirmed case. Lung cancer cases on the rise among non-smokers.
Really, anyone with lungs can get lung cancer.
A doctor's warning tonight about a hidden risk lurking in your home.
Almost a record high today, and one more warm day to go, but it's still February, and the colder air is returning for the weekend. We're tracking the highest storm chances for Thursday afternoon.
Lent has begun, which means Fish Fry Fridays are back in St. Louis. There are 7 Fridays between now and Easter, but some parishes don't offer it on Good Friday, so double check. 5 on Your Side has put together an interactive fish finder. To find one close to you or add to the Fish Fry map, just text the word fish to 314-425-5355.
Tonight, there is a second confirmed measles case in Madison County, Illinois. The Madison County Health Department just confirmed to 5 on Your Side that the 2 cases are connected. The first person infected traveled through St. Louis Lambert International Airport on February 7th. They were in Terminal 2 at baggage claim and then rode parking shuttle number 3. They then went to Good Shepherd Lutheran Church in Collinsville the next day on February 8th. A doctor at Mercy Hospital says the measles is highly contagious.
You're actually contagious for about 4 days before you actually develop the rash, and which makes it really difficult because, the person that may be infected may just think that they just got a virus.
6 people in St. Louis County were exposed on the flight. Exposure does not necessarily mean you're going to develop symptoms, but those who might have been exposed should still monitor for them. The best way to prevent the measles is to get the vaccine.
Well, she was healthy, active, and never smoked a day in her life. Then one unexpected scan changed everything. Tonight we begin a 2-part series on the new face of lung cancer and why doctors say this disease doesn't always look the way you think. At Missouri Baptist Hospital, the face of lung cancer looks different than it used to.
Anything else going on health-wise?
Nope. So far so good.
It's younger, female, and in many cases, never a smoker.
Well, let me take a listen.
Okay.
Nearly 20% of new lung cancer diagnoses now happen in people who've never smoked, many of them women.
That's a common misconception that lung cancer only happens to people who've smoked.
Doctors say the causes can be complex: genetics, air pollution, workplace exposures like asbestos, and a silent danger that's invisible and odorless: radon gas seeping into homes.
Which is naturally occurring and is felt to be the second most common cause of lung cancer.
Laura Hammond never smoked.
You can see it was kind of cystic and really stood out.
She was in her early 40s when her cancer was discovered accidentally after getting a scan following a miscarriage.
They happened to see a mass in my lung, which was very concerning.
When you look at the CT part of it.
And that's what makes this new face of lung cancer so difficult to spot.
Initially, many people are asymptomatic. And so sometimes we coincidentally find the cancer on an imaging study that's done for other reasons.
Laura's cancer was stage 3. It had spread to the lymph nodes. She underwent surgery, chemotherapy, radiation, and kept moving forward one step at a time.
It's what can you control? You can't control this. You can only do what you can to move forward, and you take it day by day.
But yeah, it was still pretty amazing they saw it.
And doctors say that forward movement isn't just happening for patients. It's happening in medicine.
And then on at least one of these, it went just high enough.
In many cases, doctors can now target the cancer with precise drugs.
It's definitely a fist pump kind of moment. Response rates are very high and survival is good, and people can go back to their normal life.
And then send a message to the team regarding this.
Today, more than a decade later, Laura is still here, still working as an ICU pharmacist in the very hospital where she was treated.
I made it, so I feel very blessed.
Some.
Yes. Very blessed. Also,
For years, lung cancer came with a stereotype. Today, it comes with a reminder. It doesn't always start with smoking. And sometimes the people most at risk never see it coming. And tomorrow night, in part 2 of our special report, we take a closer look at one possible cause that doctors are watching closely: the invisible gas that can build up inside homes, and many families don't know it's there until it's too late.
Good to know Laura's doing so well right now.
Yeah, she's doing fantastic.
Yeah. Well, Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell's here with the weather impact forecast. Almost broke a record today.
Almost, but not quite.
Yes.
And with typical
Still.
St. Louis weather.
Yes.
Now it's changing
gonna
again.
change.
The weekend is going to be quite different. In fact, dramatically different here. Today would have been a great day to have that first City SC match over to Energizer Park. That's coming on Saturday. It's going to be a lot colder, only in the low to mid 40s and a little bit on the breezy side too. Tomorrow, there is a chance we'll see some showers and thunderstorms. I think what we see in the metro area is not severe, but the chances east of St. Louis, this is the focal point that we've been watching the last few days, getting the moisture, getting the shear all to line up just so. The highest threat really in this area are far eastern and northeastern counties. That includes Flores, Salem, Kim Mundy up to Vandalia, over to Effingham, St. Elmo, back to Nokomis, Litchfield, even into Greenville perhaps. But in the metro area, it's probably just showers. Again, you can stay up to date on whatever is developing tomorrow. You know, we'll be on streaming for sure. And then there's a little icon right down there underneath the live stream that says radar. You can get it 24/7. So temperatures will be in the low 50s out the door tomorrow morning. Dry for the morning commute, and then this energy that's out to the west will start pulling our way. The jet stream winds, that dip in the jet stream, that's moving over us as we go into tomorrow during the afternoon hours. That's why we have these chances of showers. You look at what's happening tomorrow morning. Watch this after the rush hour. We have scattered showers that will develop across the area. Is it going to be widespread? Probably not. Most areas will see some lighter rain. There might be a couple of little cells here east and northeast of St. Louis during the morning midday hours that try to produce a couple of hailstones. It'll be later in the afternoon as the drier air is surging in from the west where we try to generate a couple more storms. Those are the ones we have to watch for that potential of severe weather. Again, focused here east and northeast of St. Louis. So just stay up to speed on that. Behind this, we don't get a lot of rain here west and southwest of St. Louis, but the humidity levels just tank. They go way down tomorrow afternoon, and the gusty winds. Fire danger is high, so we want you to avoid burning outside for the next couple of days. 53 right now after our high of 73. We'll drop a few more degrees tonight as the clouds continue to roll in. Tomorrow, around 70, 72. It's a breezy day. We'll have the showers and thunderstorm chances around, but again, not everybody's going to get rain, and even if you do, there's no guarantee you'll see a lot of it. The best chance for stormy weather is off to the east of St. Louis on the Illinois side. By Sunday and Monday, high temperatures only in the 30s.
Back to reality.
Yes, reality check.
All right, Scott, thanks. Frank is here with sports.
We will hear from the Kachucks, Jordan Binnington, and Jim Montgomery. And we'll also show you Mizzou against Vanderbilt, some late drama late in this one.
And coming up at 10:35 on Olympic Late Night in snowboarding, the podium is up for grabs in the women's slopestyle final. And at 11:15, it's the women's biathlon relay. Athletes combine the skills of cross-country skiing and rifle target shooting.
Mizzou basketball is on the NCAA tournament bubble. You don't want to have a net ranking at 65 on Selection Sunday, but they could improve tonight. 19th ranked and 21-4 Vanderbilt came to Columbia. Love this Dennis Gates. The other day he said that when his team loses, it's his fault. When they win, the players deserve all the credit. Let's give some credit to the surprise player of the year for the Tigers, T.O. Barrett. After the steal, give him the bucket and one. The biggest difference maker, how about Jaden Stone? When you get fouled making a three, that's what you call a 4-point play. Second half, Mizzou dominated. High-low, Mark Mitchell, Sean Phillips with feeling. And they were on fire from three. Trent Pierce on the right side. However, Vanderbilt made a late run, and they cut that 19-point deficit to 3 points, but Mizzou holds on for an 81-80 victory. Thank you, Mike Bush. The great Caleb Williams at USC tonight, watching his Trojans face the Illini. Illinois is so good. Ben Hummerkhaus drilling threes. They were up 15-3. He's 6'9". So too is David Merkovich, yet he handles the ball like he's a guard. Kylan Boswell is back. healthy, and he's doing his thing. And Illinois is blowing out USC at halftime, 54-32, and that will do it.
I thought Mizzou was going to blow them out. Boy,
I had the highlights edited like at halftime. Oh my goodness.
They win by 1.
Yep. All right, thanks, Frank. We'll be right back.
An all-new episode of my video podcast, And There You Have It, has dropped on our free streaming app. This week, I sit down with the Wizard, Cardinal legend and Hall of Famer Ozzie Smith, right before he headed to spring training. Watch on demand by search KSDK in your TV's app store.
Trending in Milan Cortina is sponsored by Commerce Bank.
Trending in Milan, it is a dad's dream. This is from the Olympic Games X account, where a team of maintenance workers armed with a backpack leaf blower clear the freshly fallen snow at the ski jump. It's max efficiency for the world's best athletes, and some would say a blow dry with some serious lift.
Yikes.
Oh, my goodness.
That's an important job.
That is.
You don't want to go wrong there.
No.
There you have it, 5 on your side at 10. We're always streaming on your phone and TV.
Be sure to start your day with Today in St. Louis. That starts at 4:30 a.m. Have a great tomorrow.